Welcome to another week of a friendly nudge. So it's cold outside, so we're going to make a hearty chicken soup. And the flavor combinations might not be some that you use all the time, but I think you'll love these. So we're using chicken thighs and sweet potatoes and collards and celery, and onions, garlic, and the spices that we're going to use are turmeric, paprika, cinnamon, coriander, crushed red pepper, and cumin seed. And then we're going to use peanut butter and coconut milk, chicken broth, and of course fish sauce, and a little bit of cornstarch to thicken it. So this thing comes together. There's a fair number of ingredients, but it comes together real quick. We're going to do it in the Instapot. And, I think the flavors are probably kind of a West African, North African influence, but these are flavors, spices that I use a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm putting about a heaping tablespoon of cornstarch on the chicken. These are chicken thighs. There's about 3 pounds of chicken thighs. I've cut up in kind of bite-sized pieces. And then I'm going to start adding the spices to it. So that's about a heaping tablespoon of coriander. And then we're going to add about a tablespoon of cumin seed. And probably, what is that? That's about a half a tablespoon. No, we'll make it a tablespoon of paprika. And this is going to end up being probably about a half a tablespoon of turmeric and about a half a tablespoon of cinnamon. And then, depending upon your heat desire, that's about a half a tablespoon of crushed red pepper. So, and I'm just going to give this a good mix. We're going to add this into the kind of the saute function. That's the garlic. So that's 3 cloves of garlic, and that's 1 onion cut up. So I'm going to get this all mixed in, and then we're going to add it to the saute function on the Instant Pot so that we go ahead and get the spices to bloom. We'll get a little bit of color on the chicken, not a whole lot. And I'm just going to put a good glug of olive oil. Maybe that's, 2 tablespoons, just enough to where that I can get some browning going on. And so I'm just going to add it all. If you really wanted to do this, for maximum flavor extraction, you'd probably do it like a half a batch at a time. But what I think you're going to find out with this is that there's an abundance of flavor. So I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to add a fat pinch of salt and then get that good and stirred up. And then we're just going to, what I'm going to do is just let this work on saute for just a couple of minutes. And, it'll start to stick a little bit to the bottom. So that's going to kind of help build a fond in the bottom of the Instapot. Now I'm going to hit it cancel because I'm going to go ahead and add everything else in, and we're going to get the pressure cooker piece going. So what I'm going to do is it's probably going to be about a third of a cup of peanut butter. And you could also use almond butter. I just decided to, make this something that more people would have in their pantry. Not everybody has almond butter. And I'm just going to get this stirred in. And this just builds such a rich flavor. And then the coconut milk. And that's full-fat coconut milk. And then that is almost a full quart of chicken stock. And, you could add a little bit more because I'm going to put just a little bit of water in this too, just to get it up. That's 2 sweet potatoes that have been peeled and chopped. That's about 4 stalks of celery. And then, like I said, I'm just adding just a little bit of water. It may be, a cup and a half. And then just get it all stirred up. And then I'm going to put the Instapot on pressure cook. And we're going to set it for 12 minutes. Got to make sure that the vent's closed. And then, last thing I did was at 20 minutes, so I'm going to take it down to 12. And then, it takes longer than 12 minutes. It probably took about 25 for the pressure to build. I'm going to release the steam. And then I always just throw a towel over it just because I don't necessarily want this painting the ceiling. And now I'm going to put it on saute, and I'm going to add the chopped collard greens. This is just one bunch of collard greens. And we'll stir those in, and then, give it a few good shakes of fish sauce. And I wanted to thicken it up a little bit, so I'm going to add another heaping tablespoon of cornstarch. I'm going to make a slurry with it, so just going to add it in there and add just a little bit of water. And then we'll stir that in. There we go. All right. And then, this will get stirred in, and then, it's got to come for the taste test. I think that you'll find this an excellent soup to make when it's cold outside. I think I want to wait till it quits bubbling before I sample it. And as you can imagine, this tastes delicious, and I encourage you to play with your food and have a wonderful week.